ABC Wednesdays. The Emmy-winning comedy Scrubs is all new.
This is a whole new chapter for me. No more sad sack. That's what I'm talking about. I want both of our sacks to be fun.
You two idiots are perfect for each other.
From executive producers of Ted Lasso and Shrinking.
We were all a part of this victory. Now get those nachos out of the preemie warmer. Nachos! Feels like there's more applause for the nachos than my speech.
The new season of Scrubs. Wednesdays, 8/7 Central on ABC. And stream on Hulu.
When your family needs urgent care, you deserve more than just the average medical clinic. At Next Level Urgent Care, we know how important fast, affordable, and high-quality healthcare is for your family. With over 45 locations across Texas, including 8 right here in Austin, we're open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week because life doesn't wait. Experience the next level of urgent care. Download the Next Level app to schedule an appointment, get in line online, or find a location near you.
Boring tea? Not here. HTO offers over 20 bold flavors like Texas chai, Georgia peach, and more. Brewed fresh every day with premium water and zero shortcuts. Sweet, unsweet, or anything in between. Every cup is built to match your taste. By the cup or by the gallon, the flavor stays smooth, strong, and consistent from the first sip to the last. This is tea done right. This is HTO.
Hello, hello. Hi, surrounded by perverts. Happy Thursday. Yes. No, thanks for stream. Glad I could get a fan badge. And evolve. All right. Let me get all sorted here. Me. Do. Yes. I'm super excited about where we have achieved so much. Good for us. Given that this is the final true route, we have been like skipping a lot of stuff that it's like, we've seen this before, that kind of stuff, in order to like speed run the game. Given that this is the final true route, we're not gonna skip things. So we are gonna give it its full dues. Which actually kind of works out. It's actually shorter than some of the other playthroughs. Looks like we're only looking at 6 chapters, so no more skipper. Exactly that. So let me get the game fired up. All right. Okay. All right, let me pull up my guide. I cannot believe it. Wow, it's happening. All right, here we go. All right, we've done this. Okay. All right, from the start, here we go. Okay. Hope you've had a good start to your week. Actually, yeah, before we get into game, let me just yap just a little bit longer. I had, my day was all right. I started, last night, I was like, I'm going to be very deliberate. Yeah, you like Lolli Yap? Well, I appreciate that. Lolli likes yapping, so I guess that works out. Yeah, no, last night I was like, I'm going to be very deliberate. And I was. I like made it to like white, like I had already brushed my teeth by 9 and I think I was in bed by 10, but like I was not setting myself up for success at 10. Yes, I was in the bed, but I was like reading stuff and like playing games and not really winding down. So I tried. I was 50% there. I just need the follow through on the other 50%, i.e., turn off devices. Try your best. So yeah, so that didn't quite go, but I did wake up. Yeah, progress is progress. I did go get up early in the morning. I kind of do anyways because Mochi and Moby, but it was to the point where it was just kind of like I knew that I was planning to wake up early, and I was like, I'm going to be a productive person. I drank a tea. It's called Focus Pocus, and it's got like turmeric and ginkgo and stuff that's supposed to make you awake, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I felt super different with it. It was good tea, though. I will say that. Yeah. Maybe try to memorize one of your favorite things to read in bed and read it to yourself as in your head as a bedtime story. Oh, that's an idea. Yeah. I mean, I think really like devices put away would probably be the big solve in all fairness. So simple and could be easy. I'm just choosing to rebel a little bit. Like I am not working within my best interest. But I made a choice. I was just kind of like, I know I could, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah, memorize it so you can read it without your device. Yeah. No, yeah, that's an idea. I'll think about it. Like I said, I think really just lights off would probably get me there. I just have to be okay with, be okay with that. And then, yeah, so I woke up early, had this Focus Pocus tea. The tea was good, but I don't feel like I felt super different with it. I was productive, but I am the same level of productive at work for the most part. So, yeah, I did get a lot of things done. Not quite the thing that I have been wrestling with a little bit, but tomorrow I only have 2 meetings in stream. And every other moment outside of that, I'm going to dedicate to Thang. So, should be good. Let me think about this. Yeah, we're fine. I was like, do I need to update somebody on something? Nah, it's fine. All right. Shadow, hi. Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. Here we are. We're on, we worked so hard on 9-rip, and now we are on the final route. It's gonna be sad when we close this chapter. But like I said, I don't know when the sequel's coming out, but hopefully soon. Playing Monster Hunter, nice.
ねえ、知ってる?
You just thought of the Book 2 premiere of Avatar The Last Airbender, where they were trying to get Aang to use the Avatar state at will and had him drink tea that made him super energetic. I see.
カラン、カランと音色を立てて、落としてなくした自分を求めて、血の色に満ちた校舎の中をいつ果てるともなくさまよい歩く。刀を携えた殺人鬼、カラカラさんの話を。
All right, we only have one choice still. Kara kara.
そう。この成見ヶ浜高校に古くから伝わる有名な七不思議。校舎のすべての窓に夕日が差す黄昏時。カラカラカラカラカラカラと刀を引きずりながらさまよい歩く音が。でもね、その音が聞こえてきたら決して振り向いちゃいけないの。
Why?
もしも一度でも振り向いてしまったら、カラカラさんはこう尋ねてくる。
俺は何をした？
答えられなかったり、間違った答えを返したりしたら、手に持った刀を振るって。
Green Yoshi, hi! Thank you so much for the resub. I appreciate it. For 9 months. Yes, Caleb, the baby is... That is the baby. The 9 months is a baby. Well, I was about to be like, speaking of baby. Not baby, but like adjacently. A happy early birthday, Green Yoshi. At one point you were a baby, and now you're not a baby. That was my tie-in. But I was like, maybe that's a little weird. But yes, happy early birthday to Green Yoshi! Yay! Oh my gosh, Yoshi. I was pretty good about the event because I was like, no, I'm not gonna spend money. I don't wanna. And I got Silas accidentally, and then I got Xavier as my first wish, and I was just like, oh, you know, I still got some things, and then I got, who did I get? I got, let's see, I got Silas. Oh yeah, I got Silas, and then I got Xavier and Silas at the same pull, and so I was like, that's 2 Silases, and I was like, bummer. But I still had some like pulls left over, non-money pulls, and then I very accidentally got Raphael, and I was like, no, it wasn't even on the list. What's happening? So I felt really like offended. Because I was like, well, I can't not have Caleb. I was just about to let the chips fall where they may. It's like, if I get Caleb, okay. And if not, well, I'll be all right. But then I got Raphael, and I was like, well, that would be rude. And now so I caved. But you know what? I've been really good about other money things, so... It's fine, I guess, but I can't believe it. It's just like, why did we do this? And now I feel real bad because it's like, well, now I don't have Zane, and now it feels, but I think I'm done. I have, spent my dollars. I got my Caleb, and I'll just have to get Zane in the future. Yeah, I know, yeah. Like I said, I don't think I would have minded missing. Now it does feel like incomplete. You know what I mean? Me and Faison are in the same boat. I see. So yeah, I think I'll be okay. I've got a long-haired Zane, so I think I'm good. Yeah. But welcome in. It's a Thursday. It's date night. And we are doing the true/final route for 9 R.I.P. So we have worked really hard. We've gone through all the other playthroughs. So this one, I thought since it's the true route, I want to give it its flowers. So I'm not going to skip. I've done speed run for some of the other ones because it's like and that has been really helpful. But luckily, I took a peek, and it looks like this is only 6 chapters. So some of the other ones are like 8 or 9. So I think not skipping and, but only having to do 6 chapters, I think that'll be all right. So I guess we'll see. So far, it has been the same. We're right at the start. It's, Sayaka teeing it up. I'm pretty sure it's Sayaka's voice, where she's like, "Oh, do you know the story?" And she tells the story about Kara Kara, which is red guy, and yeah. So I think we're about to get mortared. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
綺麗な紅の花を咲かせるんだって。
Yep. The silhouette of Kureha has murdered us in this intro. I'm gonna turn this down so it doesn't blow up y'all's ears. Let me know if it's like okay or like still too high. Right, opening intro. Yes, that was me. I forgot to press the unmute, but yeah. The chat. Okay. Yes, I think it was just below a layer. I had added a layer for something, and I think I put the chat underneath that. So I appreciate. Yeah, I thought about that last week, and I was like, oh, I'll make a note of that in my brain, and I did. But then it went away immediately. So yeah, and now we have both. Yay! Thanks so much, Surrounded by Perverts. Appreciate it. Yes. As the setting sun cast a yellow glow over the classroom, a deathly silence fell upon us. We were the only 2 left there. From the field outside, the shouts of the soccer team drifted in, faint as they echoed to our ears. My best friend, Sayaka Hira, with eyes gleaming, leaned forward over her desk.
ね、怖いでしょ？怖いよね。
Yeah, a little bit, I guess. If he's asking, what have I done? Do you think that means he has amnesia?
そう言われてるんだけど、どうして記憶がないのかは 語られないところなんだよね。ホラー話あるあるで考察して楽しむってわけ。ね、あなたならどう考える？
Hopefully not tragedy. Hopefully. I don't know. I just feel bad for him. I mean, since he died, he's been wandering, searching for his memories. It's sad.
でも殺人鬼だよ。
Well, yeah, when you put it that way. You said it's one of the school's 7 wonders, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the school.
それには諸説あるんだよね。警察に追われていた連続殺人鬼が学校に逃げ込んだとか、あとは
Her arms waved passionately as she spoke. I couldn't help but smile at her enthusiasm. I'd been friends with Sayaka for longer than I could remember. I just can't keep up with how much she's into all this occult stuff.
なあ、またそんな呆れた顔してる。少しは信じてくれてもいいのに。
Sorry. I guess I'm just preoccupied right now. Sayaka huffed and pouted her cheeks. I usually did a better job of playing along, but today, I pulled out the survey from inside my desk and Sayaka's eyes gleamed with surprise.
まだ出してなかったんだ。提出は来週までだから時間はあるけど、何かあったの？
I just need a little more time to think.
考えたいって、聖銀大学が第一希望じゃないの？
It was, but I don't know. I'm just not sure anymore. At least, that's how I feel now.
そんな。だってあなたのお母さん、進学は聖銀大学だっていつも言ってたし、あなたもそれに賛成してたじゃない。
Well, yeah, I guess, but yeah, the mommy issues are not resolved. Maybe this is the one playthrough to end them all.
それじゃあ、あなたの希望はどこの学校なの？
It was September of my second year in high school, a time when all students looked toward their future, and my future stared blankly at me. A blank sheet, void of any direction. What can I do? What do I want to do? I still had no answers to these questions. Will we finally get a boyfriend without abandoning our family forever? Yeah. Or we don't have to wait till we're like an old granny to have our boyfriend, you know? It's like, we could be boyfriend and girlfriend when you die.
ねえ、大丈夫？
Sorry, just got lost in thought. I could at least write my name on the paper. Lolli. Yes. When I finished writing my name, I let out a small sigh. Only my name. Everything else was blank. My mom's been trying to get me to go to medical school at Seigen University for a while now, but I have no desire to do so. So much so that it became uncomfortable to talk with her these days. And so, I merely stared at the blank paper.
まずい、私今日塾だった。
Sounds like you gotta go. I'll clean up and head out too.
一緒に帰る約束だったのにごめんね。お詫びに明日は引きずり鏡の話語ってあげるから楽しみにしてて。
No, you really don't have to do that.
それじゃまた明日。あ、もしカラカラって音がしても絶対振り向いちゃダメだからね。刀を持った血まみれの男に注意。
Now I'm gonna leave you alone. Bye! As full of life as ever. I couldn't help but laugh as Sayaka dashed off in a hurry and placed the blank paper in my bag. Did I forget anything? I double-checked inside my desk and left. Whoa. Asian guy, hello! Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday! Yeah, she gonna pester him. Maybe. Staring out at the scene in front of me, I involuntarily let out a gasp. The walls, the floor, the ceiling. The whole hall was bathed in an eerie golden glow. It looked so different than usual. Yeah, we are doing the final / true route for 9 rips. So we're gonna give it our full, no skips. So we're gonna read it in its entirety as best we can. So.
校舎のすべての窓に夕日が差す黄昏時、女子生徒が一人で校舎に残っていると、どこからか聞こえてくるんだって。
A shiver ran down my spine. This is all thanks to Sayaka's stupid story. I shook my head to compose myself and began to walk slowly forward. I tried to move, but my legs froze. When I left the classroom, I was certain there was no one else in the halls. Or, at least, that's what I thought. But I was sure I felt a faint sigh brush past my ear, and a cold chill enveloped my body. Someone was with me. Someone very handsome. Someone behind me. I was convinced with every fiber of my being. Oh, nice, surrounded by birds. No, I can't turn around. If what Sayaka said is true, and I turn around now, I remained frozen for what felt like an eternity. I felt a faint breath caress my cheek, and then, as though it were all a dream, it was gone. Fearfully, I turned around to see. Nothing. There was nobody there. No creepy ghosts, no sword-wielding killers. And at the same time, the golden twilight had faded, casting the halls into spreading darkness. I guess it was just my imagination? The words slipped out unintentionally. But what if there was a reply from the shadows? The thought filled me with unease. I need to head home. With my heart racing, I hurried out as fast as my legs would carry me. Whee! Despite being spooked by every shadow and stranger I encountered along the way, I finally made it home safely. As I flung myself into the house, I realized my back was drenched in sweat.
おかえり我が妹
Okairi. Hi. A wave of relief washed over me when I saw my sister's face.
おいそんな息切らしてどうしたんだまさか変質者でもいたか
Waga imoto. In a sense, maybe.
くそ野郎私がとっ捕まえて
Wait a minute. I grabbed her arm to stop her, but she moved with such force that she ended up dragging me.
止めるなあんたに怖い思いさせておいて野放しにできるかっての
Sorry. No, it's not like that. Sayaka told me a ghost story, and it really creeped me out. That's why I ran home.
だってあんた変質者って
Well, when I left school today, I just had this really creepy thing happen. That's why I answered like that. Saying it out loud, I felt even more embarrassed. Who in high school gets scared by ghost stories? Plenty of people. Look, I am a grown-up. I don't want to believe in ghosts, but I believe in ghosts. Do you understand my dilemma? I believe in them, but I don't want to believe in them. So, ow, Mochi too. Give me a second. Let me check on her real quick. Mochi. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, yeah. At least my dad has superpowers. I had a moment just now because I went out to check on Mochi. She's fine, but I heard a noise and I was like, oh, and it sounded like a mix of like rushing water or like what gas sounds like. You know, what you think gas sounds like. I was like, oh no, what's that noise? But I forgot I started my laundry before stream. So it's just my washer filling up with water. So it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Sayaka's story got me creeped out too. Fine. Some best friend. Okay. I glanced over at my sister, who simply sighed.
ま、何もなくてよかったよ。
Yeah,
ほら、着替えてこい。
ghosts of my own making. Yep. Right. Hey, is mom home yet?
ああ、まだなんだよな。今日のシフトを見るに、もう帰っていてもおかしくないんだけどな。
I see. Maybe there was an emergency? My mom worked as a nurse at the nearby university hospital, and the time she got home varied depending on her shift. Anyway, I should get changed. In my room, I changed out of my school clothes and started to organize my desk when the blank sheet from before fell to the floor. Ah, yikes. I quickly picked up the paper and stashed it in a desk drawer. Truthfully, I hadn't mentioned the paper to my sister or mom yet. If I told my mom about it, she'd...
おーい、ちょっといいか？
Yeah, come in.
聞きたいことがあってさ、私の仕事のことなんだけど、店のレイアウト任されたから参考になるもんいろいろ調べてたんだよ。
It's your day off and you're thinking about work?
社畜ですから。っていうのは冗談で、仕事してる時が一番楽しいから休みでも考えちゃって。
That sounds just like you. So, what are your big plans for the store layout?
女子高生的には入り口にハイブランド品とセール品ならどっち置いた方がいいと思う？
Me? I'd prefer the sale items up front. I find it intimidating to walk into stores filled with expensive stuff.
ほうほう、なるほどね。サンキュー。参考にさせてもらうわ。
My sister nodded and began jotting something down on her phone. My sister worked as a store clerk at a chain apparel store that was popular with high school girls in the city. She always loved fashion and managed to turn that passion into a job. I often went to her for advice about clothes. In fact, she had helped me pick out most of my wardrobe and cosmetics. Carrie, hi! This may... You had a very strong "we are the ghosts of all the people we've ever loved" moment. Oh my goodness. How convenient. How fitting. Hi. Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a good week. But yeah, I feel like I've heard something similar where it's like anything like you, like who you are today, a lot of your ancestors wished this much for you. Right? Like if you think about like, you know, the I mean, even if your life isn't perfect, just think of all the opportunities and things around us, the ability that it's like, are you sick? Maybe you could go to a doctor instead of just, hoping hoping you don't die at, whatever, at a young age because, people just didn't have a long life expectancy long ago, right? Yeah, we are all goblets overflowing with personality that spill into each other. That's an idea, yeah. Slightly different thing. Like you were dancing a little in the shower and had the realization that I dance in the shower the same way your ex-fiance does. Oh. I can see, pieces of, pieces of people's, spirit come along with us, right? It's like glitter. Sometimes it's like, oh, that nice little speck of glitter is, whimsical and nice. And sometimes it's like, that's too much glitter. It's over everything. No, I quite like that, though. The idea of being able to have a little piece of, folks. Like my sister often says that my younger niece, she feels like she and I talk the same or have some of the same mannerisms. And I like that. It makes me feel close, I already feel close to my nieces, but having that, it doesn't feel like a bad comparison. You know what I mean? So yeah. But I'm happy for you, Carrie, that you sound happy enough that you're doing a little dance in the shower. So good on you. I feel like when certain things, I realized, and somebody pointed this out to me a long time ago. I didn't realize it, but they told me, they were like, you seem very happy. I can hear you humming and singing a lot more, when you don't think that we can hear you. And I never put it together, So, yeah, you've just had a song in your head all day and need to listen to it. Ooh, fun. Is it an earworm? A good one? But good for you. You said you wanted to try changing the layout of the store for some time.
実はこの間さ、私が任された秋物コーナーが評判良くて、試しにやらせるかって話になったんだ。
Carrie, we're on the final / true route of this game. So we've gone through all the other playthroughs, and now that has unlocked this version. So we're going to give it its full playthrough. So I'm not going to skip anything. But luckily it's less chapters than the other ones. It's 6 chapters. So I hope that we'll get, a little bit of resolution for all the ghosts in the true ending, That'd be nice. So let's see. For you, yes, it's Darkness at the Heart of My Love by Ghost. Oh, I don't think I've heard that, but I'll tell you what, let me make a note. Let me pull up my notepad, my digital notepad, and I'm going to write that down because I'd love to hear it. Darkness at the heart of my love by Ghost. Okay. Saved. Put a pin in it.
これでまた一つ夢が叶ったってわけよ。
In that case, I'll come visit the store after you finish the redesign. I'm looking forward to seeing the new clothes you've got too.
任せとけって。そうだ。よかったらさやかも連れてこいよ。しばらく会ってないから会いたい。
Yeah, sure. Just as I was replying to my sister. Oh, I love that. Yay. Thank you for sharing a playlist. I'll be very happy. It's the Oh, I see. Awesome. Yeah, I'll be happy to hear it.
ちょっと翼、あまりこの子を振り回さないでちょうだい。
I didn't know how long my mom had been listening, but I turned to see her standing in the doorway. Welcome home, Mom. You're home late today.
ええ、ただいま。夕方から交代になるはずの人が休養で遅れてきてね。
My mom smiled brightly at me before glancing harshly at my sister.
この子は来年受験なのよ。あまり連れ回さないでちょうだい。
軽い息抜きぐらいいいじゃんか。受験シーズンつってもまだ高2だし、今から気張ってると息切れするって。
Yeah, Tsubasa. Tsubasa advocating for us.
そう言って油断してると危ないのよ。早い子は高校1年生から受験に備えて勉強を始めていたりするんだから。
My mom then stared back at me, seeking reassurance. Well, I suppose. In fact, I had been studying to get accepted into Seigin University for quite some time.
聖銀大学の医学部を目指して頑張ってもらわないとね。
In response to my mom's proud smile, my sister just shrugged her shoulders.
また始まった。こいつがそれでいいならいいけど、違うんならそれ無理強いだよ。
変なこと言わないでちょうだい。大学のことは前から話してきているんだから。
I'm sure part of the reason my mom wanted me to go to medical school was because she was a nurse. But I knew that wasn't the only reason. I had a feeling it also had to do with my father. Hey, is Daddy going to come home late today too?
そうみたい。でも怒ったりしないであげてね。お父さん、人を助けるために頑張っているの。だから応援してあげよう。
Why is he helping people?
それはね、お医者様だからよ。
I was still in kindergarten, so I didn't really understand, but I understood enough to know that I was proud of my father. But shortly after that, we found out that my father was very, very sick. He fought the disease for about a year before he passed away. That's when Mom started to change. It wasn't that her personality changed so much as she just became super focused on our education, wanting to raise us right by herself. At least, that's what I always thought. And that's how all this talk about my future started. Your father was a wonderful doctor, you know? He was truly a great person. You should find a job where you can use your talents to help people. I can't think of a more rewarding career. You should become a doctor too. As a kid, I always just assumed my sister and I would go into medicine, but my sister was different. She had her own path that she wanted to pursue. It was hard, but she finally convinced our mom. Watching her from the sidelines, I was relieved to see that I didn't have to go into medicine, because I realized I didn't want to. But it's just too hard to tell her I don't want to go to Seigin University. But I knew I'd have to tell her eventually, so... Actually, Mom, there's something I have to talk to you about.
やだ、ご飯の支度がまだだったわ。急いで用意するわね。
それなら私が手伝うよ。
気持ちだけ受け取っておくわ。
遠慮しなくていいって。ほら、行こう行こう。ちょっとお願いだから台所に立たないで。あなたのお料理は最悪なんだから。
Oh, Mom trying to be nice. Be like, oh, that's so sweet of you to offer. I was like, nah, it's cool. And I was like, no, please, no. As the two of them scurried out of the room, all I could do was sigh. I couldn't tell her. That would have been the perfect moment, too. After we all had dinner, we sat down to watch some TV together and then each took a bath. Before I knew it, it was 11 p.m. I changed into my pajamas and plopped down on the bed. The soft mattress cradled me. I rolled over and stared up at the ceiling, sighing with exhaustion. I feel even more tired than usual today. Keep her far, far away from the kitchen, yes. I couldn't believe exams were already coming up. At school, the teachers were more passionate than ever. This is students were all planning to go to college or take over their family's businesses. Even during breaks, everyone seemed to talk exclusively about their careers. They're all so eager. I knew that wasn't the only reason I felt so tired. A shiver coursed through me, and I snuggled deeper under the blankets. What happened in the hall? It wasn't real. My vision faded to black, and the embrace of sleep welcomed me. Then, just as I had drifted off, a sudden ringing startled me awake. Lolli.
もうすぐです。もうすぐあなたを闇へ誘う準備が整います。
What is this voice?
暗闇に落ちても恐れず立ち向かって。あなたには乗り越える力があるのだから。信じています。
I was so scared, I almost couldn't breathe. I stayed still, unable to move. The voice, it stopped. My heart thumped loudly in my chest. I wanted to throw off the blanket and run, but what should I do? I'm too scared to move. The next morning, I'm heading out. Itakimasu. I waved casually to my neighbors as I moved through the calm morning air. I tried to act normal, but what was that voice last night? I definitely heard it, right? When did I fall asleep? When I came to, it was morning. My thoughts raced as I tried to determine if I had really heard that voice, or if it was just some kind of dream. Daddy! It's you, Sayaka. Don't scare me like that. But, good morning.
おはよう。昨日は約束してたのにごめんね。塾にはギリギリ間に合ったよ。
Oh, well, I'm glad you made it.
で、どう？進路のプリントは書けた？
No, I'm still thinking it over. I'll look into it after school. You're planning to go to Seigen University, right, Sayaka? It must be nice to have things all figured out. What?
別に何でもない。そうだ、私も放課後付き合うよ。今日は塾もないし、暇なんだ。
Huh? Nah, I don't want to trouble you. You should enjoy your time off.
そんなことないよ。
Sayaka's refusal was so strong, it caused me to stop dead in my tracks.
暇だなんて思わないし、あなたに合う学校を探す手伝いがしたいなって。
I was happy to hear Sayaka's words, but thanks, but I think this is something I need to figure out on my own. This is my future, and if I don't decide it for myself, well, that defeats the whole point. I'll be sure to let you know when I make a decision. Seeing Sayaka look so worried, I tried to change the subject to cheer her up. Right! You were going to tell me about another ghost story, right? Something about a mirror?
引きずり鏡ね。
She still seemed preoccupied, and though I managed to change the topic, I didn't quite get a smile out of her.
それよりも今一番熱いのは神隠しなんだよ。
There we go. That's the Sayaka I know and love. Spirited away? You mean like someone vanishing without a trace?
それ。伝承は全国にあるんだけど。
Sayaka opened the memo app on her phone and thrust it in front of me. Spirited away, red-faced goblin, witch. There were many strange terms on the screen I'd never seen before.
こういう各地の伝承と同じようにね、 成見ヶ浜も昔から神隠しが多い土地って言われてるんだよ。何しろ行方不明者が全国平均の 1.9 倍、なんと7人も神隠しにあったとかで、これは当時の新聞欄を賑わせて。
I'd certainly found a topic to fire her up. Maybe I should have chosen something else.
ねえ、ちゃんと聞いてる？
Huh? Oh, yeah, for sure. The part about 7 people disappearing, right?
今はその部分じゃない。精神的に参っていたり大きな悩みを抱えている人が神隠しに遭いやすいってところ。
Oh, I completely missed that.
あなたは大丈夫？大きな悩み抱えてない？
Her words took me by surprise. I'll be fine. I don't really believe in any of that stuff anyway.
もうノリが悪いんだからな。
It was the truth, though. I didn't believe it. Well, maybe just a tiny bit. Somewhere deep inside. A struggle, huh? I was skeptical. But I couldn't ignore the fact that I was indeed confused and struggling to find a path forward.
じゃあこういうのはどう？学校の七不思議をすべて起こすと神隠しに遭う。
Oh, I haven't heard that one. Is it a local legend too? Which school is it about?
これはネットにあったものでね。どこっていう場所は載ってなくてさ。
Leaning in closer, Sayaka's face was nearly touching mine.
七不思議はこの現実世界にはありえないもの。つまり聖者の領域を犯す事象。
I would never believe in it, much less date it. Famous last words.
だからそれをすべて起こすと境界線が揺らぐ。気づけば辺りは赤に染まり、この世のものではない景色が広がって、そうなれば最後はもう元の世界へは戻れない。永遠に赤の世の住民になってしまう。
Instinctively, I gulped.
っていう噂があるから今度一緒にやってみようね。
I'd rather not. Thanks. I finished classes, same as any other day. After school, I found myself in the classroom alone, putting away my things. Well, I guess now's the time to decide what I want to do with the rest of my life. And so I made up my mind to... I think it's this one. Escape reality with something delicious. Sounds right. Sounds correct. I knew I didn't have time to do that. I knew it better than anyone. But still, my favorite cafe's ice cream parfait just popped into my mind. I really am the worst. I knew that if I just tried to escape my problems, nothing would be resolved. If anything, they'd just get worse. But if I'm going to make a decision about my future, I really shouldn't try to rush myself. Using that as an excuse, I deluded myself into trying to run away from my problems. I tried to avert my eyes from both my mom and my future and just focus on the delicious parfait I was about to eat.
いらっしゃい、一色さん。来ていたんだね。
The owner of the cafe smiled as he spoke to me. I came here often ever since I was little, and I remember my father taking me a few times. Good afternoon. I just needed a parfait today, you know?
小さい時から食べてくれているよね。今はもう高校生なんだよな。そうだ、よかったらさ、うちでバイトしてみない？
A part-time job?
君が来てくれたら助かるよ。このお店を熟知している人だからね。
Technically, my school allowed us to have part-time jobs, but things are really busy at school right now. I'm afraid I'll have to pass.
振られちゃったか。 でも気が向いたら声をかけて。面接なしで即合格だからね。
As I watched the owner walk away, I couldn't help but sigh. If I really am that busy, I shouldn't be coming here. As I left the coffee shop, I still didn't feel like going home, so I walked aimlessly around the place. If I went home now, I knew my mom would just bug me again about going to Seigin. I sighed loudly. As I walked, I noticed a large torii gate come into view. I can't believe I walked all the way to Tsukumo Shrine. I never considered myself a religious person and didn't put much stock in such things. Still, I did have some connection to the shrine. My mom would take my sister and me to pray here at the start of every year. You know, I've given this a lot of thought, and I still haven't come up with an answer. Maybe I should try praying about this. And so, I say we pray just to make it today. I say we pray. Pray, pray, pray. Let me double check. Probably. Yeah, we're gonna go and pray. Okay. All right. Go and pray. I tried to run away from my problems. Now, maybe it was time to ask a higher power. But which god should I pray to? I was at a loss. They say all who believe are saved, so... Surrounded by an eerie silence that made the hair on my arms stand up, I walked toward the shrine. There I saw a man who appeared to be a priest, sweeping the nearby grounds.
こんにちは。その制服、成見ヶ浜高校の生徒さんですな。帰り道に寄ってくださったのですかな？
Hello. Yes, I've come to pray before I return home.
そうですな。この時間は大間が時ですから、そうした方がいい。
Right. Replying sheepishly, I headed to the donation box. The Devil's Hour. Sayaka told me something about that one time. What was it again? Arriving at the donation box, I took out a 10-yen coin and tossed it inside. Please, help me find my correct career path. Actually, that sounds kind of strange. Help me find my interests or what I'm good at. Yes, help me find what I'm supposed to do. And also, for my mom. I prayed deeply and sincerely.
これは面白い人の子だ。
Huh?
実に厄介なものに見入られておる。よく今まで無事でいられたものだ。
誰が厄介者ですか？
おお、聞こえておりましたか。つい本音が漏れてしまっていけない。
別にいいです。それよりもあっちに行ってくださいです。
What? Carrie, thank you for the hydrate reminder. You got it. I have my glass right here. I'm drinking water out of a wine glass. I'm not a lush. My two main cups are in the dishwasher. Thank you. I'll take it. What? That high-pitched voice. It's the same as the one I heard in my room. Yeah, it does make me feel fancy. I looked around but couldn't find anyone. Yet I was sure I just heard someone speaking.
その言いよう、影でこの娘を付け狙うストーカーのようですな。
ストーカー？そんな物騒なものじゃないのです。見守っていると言ってくださいです。
ほほう、これは。いやー、同じセリフを昨日ドラマで見たばかりでしてな。ストーカーがそう言うておりましたぞ。
ああ、もううるさいです。部外者は高間ヶ原にでも帰ってどうぞ。
really creeping me out. Is this some kind of hallucination? Maybe I'm just tired.
いえ、疲れておりますな。
Huh? I turned around to see the priest standing directly in front of me. He had a concerned look on his face.
払って差し上げたいが、この時間効果はないかもしれんな。
An exorcism? Wait, do you think I'm possessed by something evil?
いや、念のためじゃ。今しがた妙な気を感じたのでな。
Could that explain the voices I just heard?
明日の放課後にでももう一度ここへ来なされ。
I understand. This shrine is very old, well regarded, and the priest is someone my family trusts. Still, I don't want to get wrapped up in anything strange. With a bit of fear, trepidation, and skepticism, I left the shrine. You didn't realize Lolli Ishiki was a cat girl. Creeping me out. All nimbly-bimbly from tree to tree. Listen here, meow. Classic cat girl symptoms. The next day, I took the survey I had in my bag and placed it inside a drawer in my desk. All that was written on it was my name. Fearing my mother might catch me working on it, I couldn't concentrate on it.
おはよう。今朝は早かったんだね。
Morning. I woke up early and couldn't go back to sleep. Actually, I didn't sleep much at all. As my mind churned over what to do with my life, sleep just never came. I'm just so tired of thinking about this.
おーい、大丈夫？
Sorry, I kinda spaced out.
もう仕方ないな。
As she groaned, Sayaka searched inside her bag and placed an energy drink on my desk.
これでも飲んでシャキッとしな。
Yeah, get your act together. Thanks. Sayaka stared back at me with a bitter smile on her face.
何かあって話したいならいつでも相談に乗るからね。
Oh, Sayaka's very sweet. That's you coded? Nice. With that, Sayaka returned to her seat. I'm afraid that won't work this time. I didn't even have the courage to talk to her about all this. Sayaka gonna Sayaka. Yeah. Before I knew it, the final bell had rung and school was out for the day. Getting ready to head home, I took my books out of my desk and found the blank sheet of paper where I was supposed to write about my future. You have a 76-ounce water bottle that is almost always full of energy drink mix. Oh, I see. Thus. Well, I guess if you're getting your water, wait. But it's like water mixed with energy drink mix, right? So you're still getting water. So I think that's good. That's a lot. I feel just super sensitive to caffeine. Like I had tea early this morning, and so I'm curious how it's going to go. Yeah, sure, there's ice in there. There you go. It's like second drink. Maybe. Maybe I should write Seigin University and just be done with it. As the thought entered my mind, I felt a sharp ringing in my ear.
探しましょう。
Huh? I quickly looked around the classroom, but there was no one else there. There's nobody here. Where had everyone gone? There were so many people here just a little while ago. So many strange things had been happening to me. I felt dazed and my muscles felt cold. Maybe I should go see a doctor or something. Take a look. It's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can't everywhere. Do 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 do. Friends to know and ways to grow. A reading rainbow. I know that there's gonna be a Reading Rainbow reboot, so I'm excited to see that. I hope, yeah. Yeah, the other day we were talking about like the little free library, and it just kind of reignited some of the, like I said, I have a lot of nostalgia about reading books, a lot of reading Rainbow, yeah, so it'll be nice. Yeah, you hope they keep Geordie LaForge around. Yeah, I hope that we get a guest appearance from LeVar. Yeah. Free library with free craft kits. Exactly. I saw some people also put like puzzles inside of their, like jigsaw puzzles inside their little library. And I thought that was a really cute idea too. Because it's like, oh yeah, because like, unless you're like framing your puzzle, like some people are okay with redoing the same puzzle over and over again, but some people are like, nah, I did it, So I thought it was a lovely idea.
探しましょう。あなたの道を。
This time I heard it clear as day. There it is again. That voice. Who are you? Just thought about that meme of that, hey, who are you? That little kid. You hope the library you used to walk to finishes up its renovation soon. Yeah, hopefully. I hope that for you too. Sayaka, did you forget me already? Don't you forget about me. I called out to the empty room.
僕はあなたを闇へ誘う者。これから先は困難しかありません。でもどうか諦めないで。前を向ければ必ず見つかります。あなただけの道が。
The moment the voice stopped, my eyes got all blurry and my head shook. Then, all at once, my world went dark. I put my head down on my desk and heard a kind of fluttering sound above me. As I slowly raised my head, I saw the career path survey floating above me. What? Seeing something so strange, I immediately leapt out of my seat.
やめてくださいです。プリント返して。
That voice! It's the same one as before. It felt different, but no doubt it had the same timbre. And the voice at the shrine. That was the same one too. My pocket buzzed and I jumped in a panic. It's my phone. I quickly took out my cell phone to see the word Mom on the display. Needing her help, I hastily pressed the answer button. Just then, when I raised my head again, I saw a single piece of white chalk floating near the blackboard. Slowly, it began to write something. Run! This can't be happening. In a state of near panic, I read the words written on the blackboard. Go to Tsukumo Shrine. Tsukumo Shrine? As though responding to me, the chalk began to write on the board again. Yes, exorcise the haunting. The priest said that he needed to do an exorcism yesterday and told me to go to the shrine after school. I hadn't decided whether or not to go yet, but I was afraid to go against what this thing in the classroom was telling me to do. I understand. I'll head to the shrine right away. Exercise! Get those gains! Wait, lose those gains?
ダメなのです。
そんなあやかしの言葉を信じたら人生が破滅するです。
It was the voice from before. It seemed that the voice and whatever was writing on the chalkboard were different. Perhaps the one speaking is trying to trick me. Debating what to do, I saw new words appear on the chalkboard. It said, "Nuh-uh." Don't listen to the voice. I wonder if both the voice and the chalkboard are spirits. In that case, they both seem rather suspicious. The voice said my life would be ruined. That seemed to be an overstatement and likely designed to trick me. Besides, seeing as the blackboard spirit specified the Tsukumo shrine, it seemed to be the more believable of the two. The chalkboard now reads, Minami was here. Yeah. It wants me to exorcise the haunting, which means it's probably trying to help me. I quickly gathered my things in my bag and left the classroom. Desperate to be rid of whatever was going on, I rushed to Tsukumo Shrine.
おお、来たのじゃな。祈祷の準備は整っておるぞ。
Actually, I've been hearing strange voices and seeing strange things recently.
わかっておる、わかっておる。やはり取りつかれているようだな。
The priest looked at the area above my head and squinted his eyes. The look in his eyes told me that there was indeed something there.
かなり強力なあやかしのようだが、何心配はいらん。何を隠そう。わしは正解を得てから神職一筋数十年のプロ宮司じゃからの。
He's been an exorcist. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, he's actually Seiya's dad? Seiya thinks that his dad passed, but, like, his dad just got taken to this, like, world of the living. Which means that his mother is part of the other world. I don't know. There's a whole backstory that could happen here. He's got the same color hair. A professional exorcist?
あやかし駆除など害虫駆除よりたやすいもの。成功な暁には口コミで星5つほど投稿していただければ幸いじゃ。
Yeah. Hit the bell and press like. Subscribe now. Huh? This is starting to feel really suspicious. You know, on second thought.
静かに集中せねばならん。そのままじっとしていなされ。
He placed his hands on my shoulders to keep me still, then sprinkled salt on my head. All I could do was watch him in silence. Huh? Next to the priest, there was some kind of silhouette, or mist, or something. I could only faintly see it, but it appeared to be in the shape of a human.
手応えあり。静まれ、静まれ。
There's something strange next to you.
今払っておる。しばし待たれよ。
After speaking, he began murmuring something under his breath. I wasn't as knowledgeable about this kind of thing as Sayaka was, but I guessed it was a prayer.
ほう、これはまた見事なものじゃ。
Maybe it was just my imagination, but I was seeing it more clearly than before. To be sure, I tried staring directly at it, and our eyes met.
お、なんと目があったか。これは感動。我神主が我の姿を見えるようにしてくれたか。これは傑作。
I think I accidentally pressed.
お、なんと目があったか。これは感動。我がさっきの黒板じゃぞ。
Okay, I was close. Is he talking to me? He said he's the blackboard guy, but... I tried to ignore him and closed my eyes, pretending to be deep in prayer. Please make this blackboard spirit's appearance and voice go away. Please, please, please.
かけまくも賢きイザナギの狼、 つくしのひむかの立花のおどの淡木原に。
The priest's body trembled as he chanted the sacred words.
払いたまえ、清めたまえ。ほー
With that resounding shout, the priest collapsed to the floor on his knees.
終わりましたぞ、お嬢さん。
When I opened my eyes, the blackboard spirit that was there before had vanished. Carrie, when you exorcise some demons, is that what you're saying? I think the euphemism works. we all have some demons to expel sometimes, you know. Bonk. Oh, thank goodness. Thank you so much. Yeah. We can mean anything, you know, it's up to your interpretation. It's in the eye of the beholder and clip.
いや、なかなか強力なもののけがついていたので大変じゃった。
いやいや、なかなかに良いノリとだったぞ。
Yeah, no, it still works. You know, it's kind of like what is it? Dropping kids off at the pool, or I know what you mean though. What is it? Calling in an airstrike, putting something down on paper, you know. You're still exercising something from your body. So, there you go. I mean, yeah, no specification from which end, right? So, could be throwing up, tossing your cookies, losing your lunch. Next to me stood the blackboard spirit. His appearance and voice were even clearer than before.
お、どうなされた？ゴキブリでもおったかの？
He's still here. Here, right here.
しかし、きれいさっぱり払いましたぞ。そこには何もいないようじゃし。
Doesn't believe me, what a bastard.
ああ、もしかすると、わしが払うなんて言ったものだから、先入観を持たせてしもたか。
What do you mean? I just mean, don't be hysterical. Have a good day. Smile.
心の持ちよう、厳格じゃ。
What a bastard. Just gaslighting me now? I exercised it. I'm gonna gaslight you now. Wait, the priest really can't see this guy? What a hack. You really can't see him? The guy in the kimono with long hair? The priest craned his neck to look around, but his face remained skeptical.
わしが払ったのは子供のような姿をしていて、ふわふわと宙を舞うもののけでしたぞ。
Huh? Then that spirit was totally different from the blackboard spirit. Does that mean he only got rid of the voice spirit? The priest's description sounded like the voice I was hearing in my head.
それでは、わしは仕事が残っておりますので、これにて失礼しますぞ。
I'll send you an invoice later. Wait, the blackboard spirit.
残念ながらあの者には我の姿が見えておらぬようだの。
Why is this happening? I turned to look at the blackboard spirit. So, you're the one that wrote on the blackboard telling me to come here?
いかにも。昨日神社で出会ってからずっとお主の様子を見ていたのだ。
After saying that, he gently took my hand.
我が名は雪丸。座敷わらしかっこ見習いとして 人々に幸福をもたらしているあやかしにございます。
Guardian spirit. So he really is a spirit.
我は今日から汝の座敷わらしとなりましょう。この時、この言葉をもって正式な宣言とする。
Yes? So wait, what exactly is going on here? This guy is going to become my guardian spirit?
というわけで、よろしく頼むぞ、我が主様。
The spirit that called himself Yukimaro smiled as he said this to me. All right, that was the prologue. I am down to do chapter 1. I think we've got time. All right. Let's do it. We started early so that we can get through more things. So yeah. I stood there in a daze. Before me was a spirit. We're diving in. That's right. He claimed he was an apprentice guardian spirit named Yukimaro. He smiled as he held my hand. So far, you feel that hasn't been any different. You're correct. We are, we have not reached the branching path yet. So the prologue, we've set things in motion. So they kind of pair some of the playthroughs together. So Yukimaro is paired with Toka, is paired with Koharu. So yeah, I think we're about to reach an emerging branching path, though. Yeah, the timeline has yet to diverge, yes. The term guardian spirit caught my attention, but my mind wasn't keeping up.
それで、主様の家はどこなのだ？腹が減ったので美味しいものを馳走してくれ。
Did he intend to follow me home? No way! I have to run! This Yukimaro seemed to be in high spirits as he stood next to me. I had a feeling that even if I ran, he'd follow me. And considering how unathletic I was, I had very little confidence I could outrun him. So let's see. Hmm? Gotta, what? No, I did that. We did the happy endings for Minami, Yukimaro, and Koharu. So, I'm looking at the... Yeah, shot him in the chest. We gotta run like an Uma Musume. So I'm looking at the walkthrough, and this isn't one of the options. So that makes me a little bit nervous that I'm missing something, and that bugs me. So I'm just doing a little bit of reading here. Gonna have to do the whole canon route on your own. Yeah. Yeah. Here's what I'm unclear about. Okay, so what I'm reading is, in order to unlock this route, you need to finish all of the happy endings for Minami, Yukimaro, and Koharu. Which if there's... Yeah, no, we've done all the happy endings. That's all the ones that we've done. This route has 2 endings. Happy ending. So there's happy ending and normal ending. Let me just double check for these characters. Minami, Yukimaro, Koharu. Okay. Unless they just missed it. Let me see. Although there is an option that we haven't seen before. So, like, we did not select this one, but I just don't want to go on a path, man. Okay, sorry. Let me just do some 9. Oh, my bad. 9 R.I.P. Okay. Let me just double check that none of these have like 2 happy endings or something. They mostly have. Oh, shoot. Okay. If that's true, some of these are, there's a godly end and a heavenly end, and those are counting as 2 happy endings. Oh my gosh. I didn't know. I didn't know. All right. Let's. What can I do? What can I do? I can't believe this. All right. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's 3 characters that we have to do both of their happy ends before we get this true. I'm so sorry for lying to you. We get more Lolli streams with boyfriend. That's true. We have extended to 1, 2, 3, 4 more playthroughs. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Let me think about that though. I can't believe this. Let me think about how I want to handle this. Because now I do want to skip everything. Had I known, I would not have been like, I guess we'll take our time with this. I can't believe it. This game? Well, luckily it was like only 3 characters that I have to do 2 endings for, but that's so much. All right, let's see. What can I do? What can I do? Before I give up, let me just double check. Something seems off. Let's see. Okay. What can I do? Because the options are. Wait. Am I dumb? Oh my gosh. I might be dumb. Hold on. Okay. I think I'm okay. I think it's okay. Wait, we have to do 9 rounds before we can get yeah, we had to do 9 rounds to do I'm gonna test a theory. Maybe we don't have to do 2 routes for 3 of the characters. I might have just misread something. Okay. I think I got it. Okay. We gotta give up. That's what we're gonna do. That's what the playthrough says. You know what? I think I might have just gotten mixed up. Okay. Give up is an option, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give up. Okay. We might be fine. We might not have to. We're gonna test this theory that I misread something, and we're just gonna proceed. Okay. Never give up. Don't let your dreams be dreams. All right. I gave up and faced Yukimaru. Please don't follow me home. I was clear and firm in my rejection, but for some reason, he smiled. Why is he smiling?
やっとまともに口を聞いてくれたな。さっきまで仰天するばかりだったからの。
His joyous smile threw me off. Honestly, looking at him like this, he just looks like an ordinary person. I immediately shook my head. Just don't follow me. I pulled my hand away from his and immediately started to run. If this was a dream, I wanted to wake up, and I felt the only way to do that was to push him away. I did my best not to turn around and look at him as I ran out of Tsukumo Shrine. I ran as fast as I could for quite some time before stopping when I hit my limit. I bent over my knees and tried to catch my breath. I looked up and noticed I was already near home. If I've made it this far, I should be okay. I fearfully turned around, yet saw nobody behind me. Is he gone? Did I escape? Still anxious, I continued to look around, seeing no trace of him. I hurriedly took out my phone and called Sayaka in a panic. After several rings, she finally picked up.
Hi. どうしたの?
Hearing my friend's happy tone, I finally felt like I had returned to reality. Sayaka, you have to listen to me. Perhaps out of a sense of relief, the words burst out like water from a broken dam. I realized it didn't all make sense, but Sayaka said nothing as she listened to me. She didn't even laugh.
何それ私も会ってみたいんだけど。つくも神社か。あそこに妖怪伝説があるとは。
Classic Sayaka. Though, given her love of the occult, I don't know what I expected. Not once did she doubt my story. I imagined her on the other end of the phone, her eyes sparkling. Her body lurched forward with excitement.
座敷わらしだと子供の姿をした妖怪だったよね。
Good old Sayaka, yeah. Yeah, but he didn't look like a kid at all. He totally looked like an adult.
それについては諸説あるみたいなんだよね。でも幸せにしてくれる妖怪だよ。出会えてよかったじゃん。
Are you kidding? I just want to get rid of him.
私も妖怪に関してはあんまり詳しくないんだよね。神主さんに見えてないなら払ってもらうこともできないだろうし。あ、そうだ。こっくりさんをやってみたら？
Sayaka's voice leapt as though she'd come up with the world's best idea. Forgetting the situation I found myself in, I rolled my eyes. Impressive as always, Sayaka. Regardless of the question, the answer always has something to do with the occult.
文句言わないの。やり方をメールで送るから、きちんと読んでからやるんだよ。
Okay. Guess it's worth a shot. As soon as I finished talking with Sayaka, I rushed back home, desperate to find a solution to this problem. Once in the door, I locked it tightly. I have no idea if locks work on spirits. Still, filled with fear, I entered the living room. Yet Sayakatism. We respect her hyperfixation around these parts. I see. No one else had arrived home yet, and the space was painfully quiet. Ah! My phone suddenly rang and my whole body leapt up off the ground. I can't believe I'm scared of my own phone. I figured it was Sayaka and quickly opened up the messaging app. As expected, it was a message from Sayaka telling me how to use a spirit board, along with a message that she was worried. Read and follow the instructions on the site, okay? Until the ritual's over, you can't take your finger off the coin. Got it? You want me to do this with you? I'm studying right now, but I think I can go see you. I wish Sayaka would come, but I don't want to get in the way of her studying. I also didn't want to worry her. The spirit's not in the house, so I think I'm okay. Thanks anyway. He isn't here, right? I carefully looked around. There was no one else in the room. I wasn't dreaming all this, was I? It all seemed so real. I couldn't actually have made the whole thing up, right? But seeing as he's not here right now, maybe I don't need to use a spirit board. I started to calm down and let out a big sigh. I'm exhausted. I muttered and threw my bag onto the sofa. As soon as I did that, the TV suddenly turned on, and I couldn't help but scream. Fearfully, I checked the TV and saw the remote on the sofa smushed under my bag. Oh, that sure surprised me. dry, nervous laugh escaped my lips. TV! I'm not going to be able to handle this. I may be safe now, but if I bump into that spirit again somewhere else, I might not be able to escape the next time. I gulped in fear as I imagined the situation. Oh, dry. Maybe I should try using the spirit board. Terebi-kun. Oh! Thank you for the intense reminder. Appreciate it. Let me drink some water. Thank you. Realizing I was only thinking that way because of Sayaka, I shook my head at the absurdity of it. On the other hand, the guardian spirit was real. I saw it with my own eyes. Then, maybe the spirit board is real too? Gulping hard, I placed my phone on the table and opened the email Sayaka sent me. Guess I've got nothing to lose. I got my wallet out of my bag and took out a coin and placed it on the table. I then took out my notebook and tore out a piece of paper. And just as the image on my phone showed, I wrote letters in a shrine archway. Okay. I did exactly as the site Sayaka sent me to instructed and took a deep breath. A part of me didn't think anything would happen, but another part of me had high hopes, thinking this might solve my problem. Spirit board, please come forth. I placed my forefinger on the coin and spoke out in a quivering voice. Some time passed and nothing happened. Maybe I should try again. Spirit board, please come forth. The lights in the room started to flicker, and I caught myself almost letting go of the coin out of fear, yet I managed to endure it. I can't let go of the coin. Sayaka was very clear about that. I took a deep breath and steeled myself. Spirit board. Just then, the coin started moving on its own and stopped on yes. No way. I hadn't pushed the coin at all. Again, it started to move on its own. Almighty spirit board, I wish for a better spirit board. The coin glided quickly over the letters. H-U-R-R-Y-U-P. Oh no! I knew what I wanted to ask, but the fact that all this actually worked made my mind go blank.
小春のやつ、相変わらず不真面目な態度で仕事しようって。
The spirit from before was standing right next to me.
急に叫ぶでない。耳がおかしくなるではないか。
How? How did you get in? You can relate to that? You can relate to what the spirit board telling somebody to hurry up, or spirits showing up in your house. Which one, Carrie? I see. I thought I locked the door. The first one. Got it.
主様の行くところ、どこへでも参るぞ。それより、指を離してよかったのかのう。友の警告に反しておるのではないか。
The spirit scared me so much that I had jumped and inadvertently let go of the coin. As soon as I let go, purple smoke began to billow out of my hand-drawn shrine archway. What is this? What did I do? The purple smoke spread throughout the room, and I couldn't see past it.
Yo! 待っておったぞ!
Yukimaru clapped and cheered. I, on the other hand, was in a state of sheer panic on account of the smoke. From inside the purple haze, a hand reached out. The ghost of your ex-boyfriend, oh no!
禁忌を犯したな、人間。
Cool glove, bro. The man that appeared before me looked truly horrific. His eye, very close to mine, glared down at me, He looked furious. I trembled with fear and felt my knees grow weak.
それから指を離せばこっくりさんがつく。知らなかったのか？
I also have feelings about the scene that is unfolding before us. I feel ya, Carrie. He could have asked me what I had for lunch, and I still wouldn't have been able to answer. I was scared beyond the capacity for rational thought.
まったく面倒なことをしてくれた。まあいい。小娘、名を何という？
I couldn't even formulate a response.
さっさと名乗れ。人間ごときが俺を待たせるんじゃねえ。
Irritation aimed at me burned in his eye. I have to say something. All right, what are we gonna do? We're gonna hold back. Woohoo! All right, here we go. Let me just make sure to close these other tabs. Make sure I don't accidentally pick. All right, we're in the finale walkthrough. Okay, we're holding back. A diverging path. He looks like he's singing a really intense emo song into our face as a microphone. Holding back. If I obeyed his command, I might end up in even more trouble. I refuse to tell you. A lot of tongue in that song, SPP. I was undeniably scared, but I resisted with all of my being.
そうか。俺に歯向かうとどんなことになるのか。教えてやるしかなさそうだな。
He stared down at me so close with a threatening glare that I found myself unable to resist. It's Lolli! I felt pathetic for putting up so little resistance, but in the end, I folded.
いいだろう。ただし、次に歯向かってきたら、容赦しねえからな。
His face was still sharp as he glowered at me with a narrowed eye.
俺の名は小春。今日からてめえは俺の犬だ。 禁忌を犯した代償を払ってもらうぜ。
With that, he roughly let go of my chin. I'm going to pay? What do I have to do? His words struck fear into my heart, and I couldn't help but ask what he meant.
俺の手足となって働けばいい。期限は、俺が満足するまで。
our average player probably. Yeah. What?
かっこつけた登場だったの、小春。
A voice suddenly resounded in my ears, cutting between Koharu and me. That's right, Yukimaru's here too. Koharu's entrance was so intense that I'd nearly forgotten about him.
なんでてめえがここにいるんだよ。
さっきからいたのだがの。お主が煙なんて撒くものだから見えなかったのだろう。演出があだになったな。
Do these two know each other? I stood there dumbfounded, looking back and forth between them. Koharu was so intimidating earlier, but Yukimaru seemed to throw him off. Flashing back to his intimidating self, Koharu suddenly turned to me.
なんでこいつがここにいる？
Well, you see, supposedly, he's my guardian spirit?
は？ほう！ようやく認めてくれたか、我が主様！
That is the only way to explain the situation, right? I rushed to explain the situation, which only seemed to please Yukimaru more. His face was the total opposite of Koharu, who was furious.
おい、犬、仕事だ。雪丸を追い出せ。
Well, I can't. I mean, that's why I used the spirit board. I wanted to ask you to teach me how to get rid of him. Koharu grunted, looking truly vexed. Yukimaru, on the other hand, put his hand on his chin and casually began to speak.
ふむ。 ならば今日から3人で暮らすことになるのか。
It was the most surprising thing I'd heard so far that day. Oh wait, this must be how people see you when you're hanging out with your friends. People tend to think you seem scary and mean, but when you're hanging out with your friends, you're suddenly not so scary looking. Nice, nice. Clean gamer. Green Yoshi, hi. So clean. So fresh and so clean. Rothy, hi. Very vexed. Very vexed. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back from the lurk, Green Yoshi. All right. We only had like a... Yeah, we're on chapter 1 out of 6. Yeah. I had a panic moment because I was like, oh no. Because I misread... I was looking at the walkthrough and I thought something was missing. And then I was reading. It was like, you need to do all the happy endings for 3 of these characters. And I was like, we already did a happy ending for all of them. So I thought there was extra ones. But I think it's okay. I think I just misunderstood something. So I think we're good and on track. So. Vexalia and not Vaxildan from Vox Machina. Oh, no, the twins. Or the... Are they twins? They're brother and sister, right? Truly vexed. I have not seen the latest season, so I'll have to catch up on that. So, yay, okay, yeah. I gotta say, I didn't listen to the story. I guess when the folks were acting it out, the first time, like. The campaign that they based the show off of. But I was pretty shocked. There were a couple of like episodes that was like, oh, that's a lot more. That's a lot more violent and, like it's a lot more graphic than I thought it was going to be in places, Yeah. Twins indeed. Neither have you. You stopped watching last season? Gotcha. The season from like 3 years ago? Maybe? Yeah, like whatever is the latest thing, I haven't watched it. Probably. Was it 3 years ago? I thought something new came out. Maybe it was 3 years ago. 3 years seems far, though. Maybe. I'll look into it. Anyways, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good week. Oh, maybe I'm mixing that up then. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. But, yeah. So we are doing the final / true route for this game. So hopefully, yeah, we get a lot of resolution. Hopefully we got a lot of boyfriendos. Okay. Oh, okay. That one. I don't think I watched that one. Yes, season 3. I did not watch that one. So, so I am behind. I mean, you're right. It's almost 3 years. Can't believe it. Wow.
賑やかになりそうで楽しみだな。
No way! Please get out! I protested, but Yukimaro smiled happily back at me. It seemed I wasn't getting through to him at all.
たく、なんでよりにもよって雪丸のアホが一緒なんだよ。てめえが儀式を正しくやってたら、俺がつかなくてよかったってのに。面倒なことしてくれたぜ。
Okay, Rothy. Gotcha. I'm sorry. What should I do? I wished for anybody to get me out of this. I started praying when suddenly... You can't say you enjoyed that show, though. Yeah, I didn't watch Ahsoka. And like I said, I only watched Vox Machina first couple of seasons. And like I said, there were definitely a couple of episodes that I was like, oh, this is a bit graphic for me. So, yeah. It could have been our friend. Still have to go see Andor season 2.
3人ではないです。
It wasn't the voice of Yukimaro nor Koharu that chimed in. I turned around and saw a boy dressed in strange clothing floating in the air. This voice, his appearance. Pink here, pal. Yeah. Oh, them getting David Tennant for Vox Machina? Oh, I didn't know that. I love me some David Tennant. Yay. Oh.
わしが払ったのは子供のような姿をしていて、ふわふわと宙を舞うもののけでしたぞ。
He was the general slash blue dragon from the first couple of episodes. Oh, cool. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Very nice. So this is the boy that the priest supposedly got rid of.
これは神様。どうしてあなた様がこちらへ？
God?
何をしらじらしい。僕が払われるのを見ていたくせに。おかげで彼女を守れなくなっちゃったじゃないですか。
He's just sitting crisscross applesauce in the air. The boy seemed to be pouting. He certainly wasn't acting like a god. I couldn't help but stare at him. Then our eyes met.
ああ、どうしよう。目が合っちゃった。
You like applesauce? I feel like I have a couple of like cookie recipes that use applesauce. Like I have a couple of like things that I make that use applesauce, but I don't think I've ever gotten into standalone applesauce before. The boy seemed deeply moved, almost to the point of tears.
こうして視線を交わす日が来ようとは。僕、感激です。
So, the voices I've been hearing for the past few days? Was that you?
ですです。あなたが幼い頃からずっと見てきたです。僕はあなたに13年間寄り添っていたです。
He spoke with so much pride, but I couldn't help but take a step back. Desu desu.
うわあ、ストーカー発言を堂々とされるあたり、さすがは神様ですな。
Stalker core, yeah, it's the true stalker route.
たまるです、この下道が。
なんだってあやかしと神がついてんだよ。お前、普通の人間じゃないんじゃねえか？
This game looks like it's related to Inu Boku SS. I don't know. Let me peek. Maybe Inu X Boku SS. I mean, there is it's a supernatural romance, so I think you're not far off. Oops. My bad. Okay. It's a bunch of supernatural beings that serve as butler. Oh, that sounds like my cup of tea. I honestly don't know how to respond to that. Surrounded by the ruckus, all I could do was stand there at a loss. Just then, I suddenly heard the front door unlock.
ただいま。
Oh, welcome back. About all these people.
この人たちって誰のことなの？
Yes, surrounded by ruckus. Oh, that's right. She can't see them. Oh, nothing. Specifically, a girl who moves to a mysterious apartment building where each tenant has a Secret Service agent, leading to a supernatural romance with her devoted fox-like bodyguard. I'm into it. I will take a look. Yeah, I don't know if that's on Crunchyroll, but I'll see. Let me put this on my notes. That's so funny. Inu X Boku SS. That's so funny. And earlier, Carrie gave us a recommendation by a band called Ghost. So, it is, yes. I knew a girl in college. She put you on? Ah. Nice. Oh, nothing.
変な子ね。
In all honesty, I was just relieved she didn't scream upon entering the room. But that relief was short-lived.
あら、これってこっくりさんじゃない？
Oh no, I totally left it out on the table.
さやかちゃんオカルト大好きだから一緒にやっていたんでしょう。
Yup, exactly. She mentioned she wanted to try it out. Sorry, Sayaka.
懐かしいわ。お母さんも学生の頃にやったっけ？せっかくだし一緒に。
No, we can't. Absolutely not. This isn't something you should take lightly. I swiftly snatched the spirit board paper from the table. I'm going to my room.
ちょっと。
I ignored her calling out and ran out of the living room. You guys can come in now. I returned to my room and changed out of my uniform. I called out to them when I finished. We were here the whole time. We watched. Yukimaru, Koharu, and the boy who called himself some kind of god. I swiftly invited them into my room. They stood before me as if it was the most natural thing in the world, and I sighed. As I changed, I had mulled them over in my mind. We secretly met. Yeah. Indeed. Wait, you were in college back then too? I can't run from them or get rid of them, which means I need to convince them to leave. Concluding that I had to persuade each of them, I started with Yukimaru. Yukimaru, you're my guardian spirit, right?
まだ見習いである。主と決めたものを幸せにすることが我の仕事なのだ。
So if his goal is to make me happy, then all I have to do is feel happy. I'm plenty satisfied with my current life. I'm happy, so please see yourself out. I spoke with confidence, but Yukimaru pointed his fan accusingly at me.
クーリングオフは受け付けぬ。
No takesies backsies. Yeah. You definitely never mentioned that anime to anyone else, though. Takesies backsies?
お主が我の主様だとすでに座敷わらし協会に届け出を出したのでな。
Maybe it was a ghost. Guardian Spirit Society? Does something like that really exist?
座敷わらしってのは今の時代は組合になっていてな。人間を幸せにしてって変わったあやかしたちのボランティア活動みたいなもんだ。
Thanks to Koharu's explanation, I got the general idea about what they did, but as a human, I was surprised to know that such a group existed.
主様が神社を全力疾走した後、教会に連絡しておいたのだ。
That made sense. He didn't follow me because he was submitting the paperwork to be my guardian spirit. Wait a minute. What am I saying? None of this makes any sense. The whole thing made me feel so powerless, but I regained my composure and began to speak. So, why did you choose me as your master?
神がついている人間などそうはおらぬからの。面白そうだと思ったのだ。
Hearing that, I looked over at the boy. And you're that god?
そんな他人行儀な言い方をしないでくださいです。僕にはトカっていう名があるので、そう呼んでください。
Right. I felt kind of bad. Toka certainly didn't act like a god, so it was hard for me to see him as one. You watched around 5 anime from each quarter of the anime schedule for a few years, plus watching other anime that came across or people recommended. Had a friend who got into anime a couple years later and only recognized it from the opening and told him the plot points you remembered. It wasn't a particularly memorable anime. Ah, okay.
いつもはあなたを見守っているです。時には矜持を与えたりもしますが。
矜持って。お前、いや、あなたは天狗なのですか？
いかにもです。僕は天狗の一族。人々に矜持を与えるのが仕事なのです。
But isn't that a bad thing?
はいです。疫病神なんて言われたりもするです。でも僕は自分の仕事に誇りを持っています。だから何を言われたところでへっちゃらです。
So many impossible thoughts filled my mind, and I struggled to keep up. So a Tengu is a god who casts burdens on people, and he's been stalking me for a while now. I took a moment to look back on my life. Ever since I was a little kid, I'd had terrible luck. Also, it's crazy that Devil is a part-timer isn't that good compared to the comedy, romance, fantasy anime these days. It's kind of the baseline now. I feel like we're in a very awesome, like, we're in a very golden age right now for anime. Like, I feel like it's kind of cyclical. Like, there was a period of time where it's just like, it felt like all these like groundbreaking things were coming out around the same time, and then there was like a little bit of a lull, like still some good things here and there, but I feel like right now it's a good time to be an anime and manga fan. Yeah, imagine if Solo Leveling came out 10 years ago. Right, yeah. School trips and field days were filled with rain. Every time I visited a shrine, I drew a bad fortune. Oh, and that one time? There were so many small things, but they occurred with such frequency that even I started to believe I was unlucky. So all this time, all the bad luck I've had in my life until now, that was you?
違うです。あなたは自ら矜持を招く。それは既得な人間なのです。
As he looked at me, Toka's eyes drooped dreamily.
まさに矜持の申し子。僕が夢中にならないわけないのです。
It's like, no, I didn't do that. You're just unlucky. Hearing what he said, I grew pale. In other words, because I was so unlucky, I caught the eye of the god of burdens.
てめえの体質のおかげで神に見入られるとはな。
Yeah, or if Demon Slayer came out back in 2010. Yeah. Be an interesting thought. That isn't funny at all. Gosh, how could I be so unlucky? Huh? But didn't the priest exorcise you? Why are you able to show up like this now? The god of burdens.
そうなのです。僕、あなたに対して力を使えなくなっちゃって。でも無力な僕でも神は神ですから。僕がそばにいることでこのあやかしたちからあなたを守ることができるです。
Yeah, there's a god of everything. There's a god of like being broke. And there's yeah. There's a good show called Norigami that kind of talks about the different gods that you can pray to and stuff, and like how part of them existing is that somebody has to believe in them, so they like yeah, you know it. It's a good one. Yeah. Oh, I see. So you're gonna get rid of these spirits for me, right?
それはさっき言った通りなので、あなたに対して力を使えないから。
Okay, reading a webtoon called The Tutorial Tower is Too Hard. Oh, okay. All right. It's gotten into gods and what they really stand for. Oh, nice. Chop chop, Toka. Yeah.
あなたについたあやかしも追い払うことはできないです。
Just like that, my hopes were crushed. Yukimaru laughed, clearly entertained by the whole situation.
それならばどうして現れたのか。
Like the god of hope is more about keeping people just in crisis enough that they will pray to him. Oh, I see. Kind of like the dentist when he gives you candy on your way out, right? Chop, chop before we chop you up. just a little bit of job security there, right? That's funny.
邪魔するくらいできるってか。
Surprisingly, Toka laughed as he slowly shook his head.
彼女のそばに神の存在があることをあなた方に知らしめるのが目的ですから。じゃ、良いですか？あなた方のせいで彼女に何かあれば、僕がいることをお忘れなきように。
He kind of forces people to rely on him by not fixing the problem. Oh no! It's like when the plumber kind of leaves something unscrewed. Be like, oh, you have to, yeah. The mechanic who like doesn't quite top the thing off correctly. Suspicious.
ほう、これはこれは。
Suspicious. Don't be 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 suspicious. Let's see. They hope it will be better, but he gives them just enough to help them keep hoping. Rips out a tooth and charges you. Yeah, that's a thing. Toka's expression, even his voice, seems to have changed.
お前、やばいもんに目つけられたな。気の毒になってきたぜ。
That includes you too, Koharu. I kept my comment to myself, unable to say it directly to his menacing face. If you feel that way, why don't you just leave?
それとこれとは話が別だ。
He shut me down fast. What am I supposed to do now? Seeing as they weren't likely to leave anytime soon, I sagged my shoulders and hung my head.
ご飯ができたわよ。今日は翼から遅いって連絡あったから、二人で先に食べちゃいましょう。
Okay, I'll be right down. First things first, I should probably eat something. Then I'll...
やれやれ。やっと飯にありつけるのか。
Huh? Wait, come to think of it, he...
それで、主様の家はどこなのだ？腹が減ったので美味しいものを馳走してくれ。
Absolutely not. My mom's home.
その通りです。なんてずうずうしいあやかし。恥を知りなさいです。腹が減っては幸福を与えてやれぬ。幸福は自身で掴み取ってこそ。甘やかすだけのあやかしが彼女の成長を邪魔しないでほしいです。
天狗が言いそうなことだ。見入られた人間はたまったもんじゃねえ。
ああ、神にそんな口を聞いていいんですか？そうだぞ、小春。この口うるさい神様に矜持を与えられても知らぬぞ。
てめえはどっちの側なんだよ。
口うるさいって何ですか？
As the spirits bickered, I sighed so deeply it felt as though it was coming from the bottom of my heart. Toka looked over at me and waved his hand as if he was shooing me away. Does this mean I should leave while I still can? It seemed like he was distracting them for me. Thank you, Toka. I silently thanked him in my mind and rushed out of my room. During dinner alone with my mom, I felt so uncomfortable as I thought about the spirits. They had yet to show up so far. Who knows when they will, though?
何かあったの？さっきから落ち着かないわね。
Oh, no, nothing. I rushed to focus on the plate before me.
なんでもないってわけではないでしょ。落ち着かない理由は隠し事があるからよね。
Wait, don't tell me. My mind raced through impossible scenarios, including my mom having a sixth sense and being able to sense the spirits.
電話をしても出てくれないばかりか、折り返しても来ないし。私が帰ってきた時も逃げるようにして部屋に上がってしまって。
Crap, I totally forgot she called. I'm sorry. I totally forgot you called. I felt like I had to hide it. I didn't think you'd figure it out.
そんなわけないでしょう。さやかちゃんのお母さんにたまたま会ってよかったわ。
Sayaka told her mom?
進路希望調査票。どうして黙っていたの？
Her words were totally unexpected, and time seemed to have stopped for a moment. So much has happened. I totally forgot about the survey. A different type of tension crept up my shoulders, and I gently put my chopsticks down. I need to tell her that I'm thinking about not going to Seiken University. Those thoughts echoed in my heart, but I couldn't formulate the words.
聖銀大学一択だから言わなくてもいいってそう思っていたの？まあそれですでに提出しているのならいいのだけれど。
I didn't submit it yet. Mom gave me a dubious look. I wanted to run away from her gaze and turned my eyes down to my plate. You see,
もう決まっているのだから早く提出しておきなさい。
Wait, Seiken University is not...
そうそう、聖銀大学のオープンキャンパスに申し込んでおいたわ。
What? I looked at my mom in disbelief. Why didn't you ask me?
相談も何も。聖銀大学の医学部へ行くのは決まっていたことじゃない。
It's true that I never specifically said no. I didn't want to go against her wishes, but that simply wasn't the case anymore. I feel bad that you went through all the trouble applying already, but I can't go. To the open campus, I mean. I don't really want to go into medicine anymore. I'm sorry it took so long to tell you. Finally, I was able to tell her. Moms are trying to turn us into dad. You're giving Freud a field day in his grave. It wasn't exactly the most elegant speech I'd ever made, but I was finally able to tell her.
そう。でも、今は興味がなくても、後から湧いてくるわ。
What? I just told her that I didn't want to go. Why is she still... Why do you want me to go so much? I had always sensed this had something to do with father, but I wanted to hear her say it.
それはもちろん安定と高収入が見込めるからよ。
I wasn't expecting her to respond that way, and so I merely blinked back at her, dumbfounded. That's it?
今はわからないでしょうけど、これは大事なことよ。
But if that's all you want for me, then it doesn't have to be the medical field, right? Even if it's a job I'm interested in doing, if I get in a company that's stable.
それじゃあ聞くけれど、あなたの希望する職種は何なの？
I didn't have anything to say. I didn't have anything I wanted to study. I couldn't think of anything. My mom smiled.
何もないならオープンキャンパスに行きましょう。それがあなたのためよ。
It's no use.
模擬授業や入試の説明会もあってね。絶対にあなたも気に入るわ。
Yeah, because everybody likes a mock class and a seminar application. On applications, yeah. It was pointless to say anything more at this point. I'm full. I stood up and took my unfinished plate over to the sink.
全然食べてないじゃない。
I no longer have an appetite. I couldn't even look at my mom. I couldn't help but sound icy as I replied to her.
ちゃんと食べないとダメよ。さっぱりしたものがいいなら。
I don't want anything. I'm just tired. I'm going to my room. Usually after dinner, we'd hang out in the living room together watching TV and talking. But today, I just couldn't bring myself to do so. I swiftly walked back to my room with my head hung low.
ああ、我の飯が。
残り物でもいいのかよ。
何を言う。残り物にこそ服があるのだぞ。それにしても神社で神頼みしていたのはこのことだったか。
進路なんて自由に決めさせてやればいいだろうに。
彼女のお母さんにとってはそうもいかないのです。ほう、さすがはストーカー歴13年の神様であられるな。家族関係をよくわかっておられる。ふんふんふん。僕にかなうストーカーはそういないのです。 地獄にいる悪魔以外には。
Ooh, a Manami reference. Now we know. Now we're knowers. I returned to my room and stared at my PC. I sensed the three behind me, but they all seemed to understand the situation. They all remained quiet. I didn't want to say it like that, but I just couldn't stand how one-sided the conversation was with Mom. The same thoughts continued rolling over and over in my head, and I kept sighing. I searched things like career path stress and career path parents' wishes. I wondered how many people faced the same kind of stress I did. I found myself desperately seeking answers. I then took out the career path survey sheet and let out a big sigh. The due date to turn in the paper was getting closer and closer. What do I do? I won't be able to submit it at this rate.
主様、少し良いか？
I heard Yukimaru calling out to me from behind, and so I turned around.
今の主様の状態では考えても答えは出ぬと思うのだが。
But I have to submit this career path survey. Besides, my mom thinks I don't know what I want to do, and at this rate... As I spoke, I looked down again. I heard Koharu, who was sitting close by, sigh aloud.
あいつを見守ってる神様さんよ。手助けしてやらねえのか？
自らで乗り越えることこそ成長につながるのです。
真面目な神様なことだ。ま、俺にすればあいつはただの犬だ。
Rude.
どうなろうが知ったこっちゃねえ。
Although his words sounded dismissive, for some reason, Koharu stood up and walked over towards me.
おい、犬。ちょっと付き合い。
What? Now? His words were deliberate and came out of nowhere. Just as I hesitated, the sound of a growling stomach echoed through the room.
腹が減ったのだ。
Culprit was Yukimaru. He dove onto my bed and started to fling his arms and legs around like a child.
うるさいですよ。あやかしなのにお腹の虫が鳴るなんて意地汚いったらないです。
おい、犬。早くしろ。
Ah! The three started to get loud again, and I stood up from my chair, unable to ignore them. All right. What do I want? I think I want to be alone. Leave me alone. I just wanted to be alone, but I knew I couldn't ignore Koharu, not to mention the racket that Yukimaru's whining about being hungry was causing. Bring them food or bring me alone. Yeah.
小春、主様を連れ回すでない。我の方が先に出会ったのだぞ。
飯のことしか考えてねえやつに言われても何も響かねえぞ。
飯のことを考えて何が悪いのだ。これでもくらえ。
おい、やめろ。物を投げても意味ねえんだから。
Yukimaru had thrown a pillow at Koharu, and I stood there at a total loss of what to do. Just then, someone timidly pulled at my sleeve. I looked over and found Toka next to me.
こっちこっち。
Toka urged me, and I used the moment to escape from my room.
ここなら大丈夫です。
Relieved to find Mom wasn't in the living room anymore, I plopped down on the sofa. Toka floated in the air, as per usual. Why did you call me here?
あなたのことならわかるです。一人になりたかったんでしょ？
He had pulled me out of there for my sake. Toka continued to float in the air as he slowly increased the distance between us. Wait! I couldn't help but call out to him. Thank you for helping me get out of there. Upon hearing my gratitude, he laughed kindly. Though his appearance was that of a young child, he looked extremely mature for a split second as he smiled to me.
そういえば、いつもならテレビを見ている時間ですね。 お母さんやお姉さんと一緒に。
Well, my sister's working late tonight. Toka shook his head.
分かってるですよね、僕の言いたいこと。
His tone was one of admonishment, and I fell silent.
あなたは強い人です。教授を呼び寄せてはそれを乗り越えてきました。だから今回もきっと大丈夫だって
That's
僕
very
は思っ
sweet.
てます。
It was very reassuring. He said that he had been watching me for a long time. Perhaps that's why he was able to say that with such confidence. But I simply couldn't agree with him.
そんな顔をしないで。あなたの強さは神様のお墨付きなんだから。
And after saying that, Toka disappeared. Sitting down on the sofa, I quietly faced my own emotions. I don't want another day like today. If things were awkward between Mom and me, I'd be distracted from my career path. I want to talk things out with her. I have to be more calm. Thanks to Toka giving me some space, I was able to calm down. Ooh, Toka, oh, look at his little flip-flop feet. I should apologize to Mom tomorrow. I hid to observe Lolli. She thought I was gone, so she muttered to herself. Hearing Lolli say that made me so happy I couldn't help but smile. Give me the flip-flops.
あなたならきっと今度も大丈夫。
However, I wasn't expecting that priest to give her such strange powers. That wasn't part of my plan. Not only could she see Yukimaru, but she could also see me. I can't take her into another world now, but I guess this counts as a burden too. Now, how will she handle it? I looked forward to the opportunity to watch those spirits bring her challenges to overcome. If things didn't go well, I could always execute my original plan. To spirit her away. After I returned to my room, I took the career path survey that was sitting on top of my desk. What should I do about this? I muttered to myself and quickly got an answer.
しなきゃいいだろ。
Yeah, fuck it. Who gives a shit? That's what Koharu said. I turned around to see the three of them there.
お、小春もたまには良いことを言う。主様の状況が見えてきて情が湧いてきたかの。
そんなんじゃねえよ。うだうだ悩んでうざってってだけだ。たたってるこっちがめいっちまってイライラするんだよ。
You're ruining my haunt. Hearing Koharu put it in such selfish terms irritated me too. He doesn't even know what I'm going through. Even if he's intimidating, I couldn't stay quiet about this. This is about me, so please don't meddle. I spoke clearly and harshly, and for some reason, Koharu returned my words with a smile.
言うじゃねえか。そうやってはっきりものが言えるのに。
主様、小春はな、それが主様を焦らせているのなら、一度頭から切り離すのが良いだろう。そう言うておるのだ。
勝手に美化してんじゃねえ。
Take my mind off this? So I should just try and escape? Not fully understanding what he was trying to say, I cocked my head in response.
てめえには何のために口がついてんだ。ない頭ばっかりひねって時間を無駄にしてんじゃねえ。
主様は考えすぎて空回りしておる。それは時間を無駄にする行為。
提出先に待ってくれと言えば済む話だろ。
もう少し待ってほしいと言えば心に余裕が生まれる。そうなれば良い案が浮かぶやもしれん。
てめえはさっきから勝手に翻訳してんじゃねえよ。
小春の言うことは分かりづらいからの。付き合いの長い我しか分からぬだろうに。
I hadn't even thought of that. I'd been trying to run away from reality for so long, I was unable to see the whole big picture anymore. That's why I couldn't even come up with an option to talk with my teacher about. Koharu took a step forward and gave me a stern look.
命令だ。明日、提出を待ってくれと言ってこい。お前に拒否権はない。犬は主人に従うまで。
He spoke forcefully, yet there was a certain warmth in his words.
命令とあらば、主様は従わなくてはならぬの。拒否すればどんな目に遭わされるか。ああ、恐ろしや、恐ろしや。
Funny Yukimaro. He said the words with such dramatic flair, I couldn't help but giggle. You're right. I guess I've no choice but to do as you say. Hearing my words, Koharu smiled. However, he seemed to notice me watching, and his expression returned to his usual scowl. Koharu? Why are you giving me so much advice? He scratched his head and looked away.
しけた面されてった。語りがいがねえってだけだ。
His cheeks flushed red with embarrassment. So even if I thank him, that makes him blush? In that case, then I have no choice but to comply, Koharu. He smiled faintly.
そろそろ眠くなってきたの。さて、心情を共にするわけにもいかぬ。
ああ、そうだな。人と関わると疲れて仕方ねえ。
I didn't know Spirit slept. Just as they were about to leave, Toka, who had been quiet this whole time, glided toward me.
おやすみなさい。眠っている間は気配を消しますが、変わらずあなたを見守っています。
Wait, does that mean he's going to stay? I won't be able to sleep like that. Toka, please rest somewhere else. I chose my words carefully, but he returned my pleas with a serious gaze.
そばにいることはしません。ただ、あなたの夢を守るだけですから。だから、ゆっくり眠ってください。
My dreams? I didn't know what he meant by that, but as long as he wasn't literally there with me, I'd be okay. Thank you. After hearing him say he'd protect me, it felt only right to thank him. But then he's like, oh, shoot, I don't have powers. Ooh. After they left my room, I got ready for bed and climbed in. Finally, I let out a big sigh of relief. So much had happened that day. Yukimaru, Koharu, and even Toka. Yet despite how terrible my initial reaction to them was, I felt having them around relieved the panic I was feeling in my heart. Guess they're not such bad people after all. Well, I guess they're not really people, huh? I laughed wryly and turned off the lights. I felt like I could get a good night's sleep. Immediately after thinking that, I fell asleep. Wow! All right. We're on our way. They don't count as people. They have no rights. No, they're unionized. They're unionized. All right, time to save. All right, we're doing it. Yay! Okay. Well, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. I'm happy that... Okay, I think we're on track. I think we're on the final true route. So, yeah. I hope y'all have a great rest of your evening. My next stream is... I don't know. I didn't... Oh, tomorrow. It's tomorrow. I'm doing Study Buddies lunch, so I'll hope to see you then. But yay! Night. Thank you so much for coming out. Okay, I'll hope to see y'all soon. Okay, bye-bye. Night-night.